I think, is what's going on. I also am looking at this and I realized that I might not have enough space. Does that make sense, Wesley, do you think? Because, like, a lot of the old people today, they grew up trusting television and they trusting and radio. And you know, whether radio and television were trustworthy is a different question. But at least they were stable in the sense that they promoted a consistent worldview. And as long as people, like, I just think because of the internet, everybody thinks they know everything. Yes, Q. I mean, Wesley. People think they know everything, but their actual ability to process information is actually pretty low. Most people. Because, I mean, we grew up with the internet, right, Wesley? I mean, I remember when I was at school, when the internet like first appeared in households, and that was remarkable. But we grew up with the idea that people on the internet might be lying to you. Yeah, Wesley's haven't done much different. Yeah, so we're used to the idea that if you read something on the internet, maybe it's true, maybe it's lies. And so we're more cautious, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. And maybe the older generation do not have that experience of being extremely suspicious of the internet. Also, I just realized that I need more space here. I'm gonna give myself more space. And of course, it comes back to, because like if people on the internet are lying to you, then you also have to take that attitude. Wesley says my dad would believe anything on the internet. Yeah, no, exactly. Because they used to believe anything on television, right? But now that the internet lies to us, we also have to consider that television probably used to lie to us as well. As long as it agrees with his opinions, says Wesley. It's possible that there's just a transition period going on where this particular generation is vulnerable, or the last generation, I mean, like our parents are particularly vulnerable because they're caught in between the transition between old media and new media, and then us and our kids would be less vulnerable, possibly. So the mistakes being made now might not carry on past our generation, or even past their generation. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping. Wesley says, yeah, maybe, but it won't stop stupid people from being born. No, but yes, there'll always be stupid people. I'm just saying though that you know, you get used to your environment. Like you get used to it if you have to live in it. Like a person born in the desert wouldn't know how to swim because they were born in the desert, whereas a person born on an island wouldn't know how to swim. And even if one person is stupid and the other's not, it's still true that they'll figure out like how to swim if they were born on the island, or they'll just die, you know, just drown. This is fail to swim and then drown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I need another one of those. Because if you don't understand the internet, or if you're gullible on the internet these days, you get lied to, you get scammed. do here? There are significant costs to being gullible. On the internet that were not there, like that did not apply to being gullible. Let's say being fooled by television and radio. I'm not sure if this is good enough. Probably not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, no, that's not good enough. Might have to bring that over here. Well, let's do that. And then let's do that. So let's say from there, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, that works. That has to be there. Unless I raise it by a block, which is also an option. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so this works. I think. Let me just check. So this cancels that, and that. I mean, television and radio, like the old media, they wanted to encourage gullibility, and I think Fox News is really the epitome of this. Of this sort of democratic propaganda, not even democratic, but like capitalist propaganda, where they have their version of the world, and as long as that version of the world, as long as you followed it, that system was stable. I mean, it might not necessarily be the best thing for people, but it was stable enough that it functioned. But in order to maintain that system, they kept people gullible, or they were gullible. They kept people in a state where they would believe media, and then that gullibility got exploited by people like Trump and trolls on the internet, and then things got bad. So their own viewers, the gullibility of their own viewers was usurped by a different force, right? What's a good example? It's like if you make a shortcut. It's like if you have a wall, but you put a hole in it because it's a shortcut for yourself, and then the thief comes in through the wall and steals your things. And you're like, why did you put a hole in your own wall? And you're like, well, because it was easy for me to walk back and forth. It's my shortcut. And then someone else comes in and uses your shortcut, and then you're screwed. Alright, so what do we see here? The exit the regional loop. Anything that's not on loop 5 would go out that way. So 5 is here. Alright, and we just take the signal up to there and then we're fine, is that it? Is it really just gonna be this? I guess that should be gold. Oh wait, no, that needs to be a switch. We need a switch here. We can make this vertical, I guess. Normal piston. And then normal piston down here. So when it is up there, we want the signal to turn off, which 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 I guess. So 5 it goes up, 5 it activates, 4 it doesn't. Alright, let me put a signal in here. So let's say 1, 1, it should turn down the branch. Great. 5, 1, it should stay on this loop. So 5, 1, we should stay here. Great. And then afterwards everything should be reset, reset. That's a reset. Wait, that didn't reset. Whoa, why didn't that reset? Oh, it's because, okay, this needs to have that there. Alright, 5, 1. What's going on here? Oh, it's a sticky piston. Okay, I get it. Let's not have a piston there. So that's gonna reset all of this. That resets everything. So I think this junction is done. Okay, that's the exit. Let me put this back. There, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let me stick a 1 there. I mean, we need to somehow teach the Fox News viewers and anyone who's new to the internet that they're being lied to. And that they've been lied to their whole lives. This, you know, approaching anything that's told to you with skepticism. Oh, this is gonna destroy religion, isn't it? This is gonna destroy a lot of things. About time, says Wesley, yeah. I mean, because I mean, not to hate on religion too much, Because religion, it can be stable, and indeed, you know, for thousands of years, for many centuries, that system was stable. I mean, it's not necessarily the best thing in the world, but it functioned. But now that the internet allows anyone to lie to anyone else, suddenly lies are no longer viable because the other liars are screwing it up for the old establishment. For war, it's fun. Yes, I mean, but war also. I mean, again, it's disastrous. But war did function in the past. It functions less well now because there's nuclear weapons. So, but you know, before when people were stabbing at each other with swords, the destructiveness of wars was limited, and therefore, I mean, no matter how bad it got, it wouldn't destroy the whole world. Whereas now, it can destroy the whole world, and so war no longer functions. Right? And I guess in a similar vein, before, lying to people to control them functioned. It's bad, but it could work. Whereas now, because of the internet, the lies are so democratized that anybody can lie to anyone, that it just gets out of hand and it no longer functions. The same way nuclear weapons made wars not viable, I think the internet has made lying as a strategy not viable. I guess not lying, but like keeping people gullible, I suppose, is more accurate. Keeping people gullible to control them is no longer viable. Okay, so this junction is pretty simple, right? We just need a persistor on each side, because this is from the regional loop. Yes, we just have a persistor on each side. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, on the topic of war, Wesley, our history books are full of wars. But it didn't entirely destroy us. And the possibility that a war would utterly destroy us is a relatively recent thing. I guess the First World War and the Second World War were the tipping points, really. Once we got past those, there's no way we could just keep fighting, because we would literally destroy ourselves if we did. War evolved to the point it would, yeah. 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We always kept creating better weapons, that's right. Because we made more war, that's right. And at a certain point it became too big, and we couldn't do it anymore. And you know, the wars that still happen now, it's just because people hold back. People, I mean, I don't know why they still do it, but I mean, wars still exist, but it's only because the ones with the nuclear weapons don't use them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If they actually used all their weapons, we would be destroyed very quickly, right?